feel great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion.
Welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking. This is episode number 945. Can you believe it? 9 minus 4 equals 5. This is episode 945, and today is Veterans Day, November 11th. Thank you to all of our veterans, including my buddy Tyson, who I just got done talking to, my dad, who was a Marine in the Marine Corps. Thank you to everybody who watches the show who is in the service or was in the service. You know, we give discounts here to members of the military, and we thank all of them for keeping our country safe. I will be here for the next hour and a half trying to answer your immigration law-related questions. How's everybody doing? I got my good friend Huli here. Let's say hi to Huli. Hello, Huli.
Hi, everyone. I don't know if I have a delay.
No, you're good.
Oh, okay, perfect.
How are you
I feel
doing?
like a Monday.
It does feel like a Monday. You want to tell everybody where we were yesterday?
Yes, we were doing our annual retreat where basically we presented how it went this year and what are our plans for the future. So I think we have big plans, and a common word that it was yesterday, it was to gain trust from everyone based on the situation that everyone is going through right now, that it's very hard. So I think the common word was that trust. People that trust us, they hire us to help them move their case, help them obtain that goal at the end of the day of all the process of immigration. So I loved it. It was nice that seeing that every department was connected in some way with the same word.
Yeah.
And different. So I loved it so much. And well, we keep fighting for immigrants every single day.
That's right. Thanks, Huli.
You're welcome.
That's our good friend Huli. She'll take care of you in the waiting room. I got some good news here from Mambo24. Huli, please send Romel a note that Mambo has become a citizen and a longtime follower day and night. Count me on your citizen list. Well, thank you, Mambo24. For those of you who don't know, we're on a mission to help 10,000 people become citizens by the end of 2030. So we got about 5 years left, and we haven't even hit 1,000 yet. So we got a long way to go. So if we've ever helped you with your immigration and you think that it's fair to say that we assisted you in your immigration journey and to be counted on our list, we would greatly appreciate having you let us know that so that we can include you in our list. I'm going to get the show started. I say hello to all of our friends in Jamaica and everywhere else. Big ups to all the Yardies. I have Dito on the line. Dito, hello.
Hi, Jane. Good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so I have a question, right? I came into the US through the U4U, Uniting for Ukraine, and the Uniting for Ukraine program.
Yeah.
So the first time I came alone, without my Ukrainian spouse. So I was inadmissible. So I had to willingly withdraw my admission that day and went back to Europe. So the next time I came back with my Ukrainian spouse. So we were admitted in. We were stamped in on our passport. We were paroled in. So when we came in, something happened. We got divorced, and now I'm married to a U.S. citizen for like 7 months. So I don't know if my case is complicated to file for. Should I file alone, like myself, or do I need the legal assistance?
I think I can best explain this by talking to you about how USCIS views your case, okay?
Okay.
So USCIS under Donald Trump, this is how they view your case. They think that you are desperate to stay in the United States. They think you and your Ukrainian wife are still married. They think you married this U.S. citizen that you're married to now just so that you can stay in the United States. And they think that after you get your green card and your citizenship based on your current marriage, that you're going to go back and marry your old Ukrainian spouse. That's what they think is happening.
Okay. So what do you suggest I do? Do I go with
Well,
an answer?
you said something happened and we got divorced. That's going to be like way too vague for USCIS. Why did you get divorced?
Yeah, because we had started having issues here. She had to like go back to Europe because she had a secret affair that she was keeping a secret. So she went back to Europe, and she was the one that filed for the divorce over there in Ukraine.
How can you prove that?
I can prove it through the letter that I think from the court sent to her that she signed before the divorce started.
How can you prove that she has a secret affair and that that's why she left?
Yeah, I can prove it.
Okay.
I saw some charts in the phone and on her phone and some things like that.
Okay, so actually that's good that she's not still here, so that's helpful. I would say definitely you need an attorney on this. They don't like anyone who got paroled in. They also, if this is another interesting wrinkle. So you said that when you first came to the United States from Ukraine, you tried to get admitted, but they turned you away because your wife wasn't with you, right? And then you went over and got your wife to come back with you. How long did she actually stay in the United States?
She said for like a week.
Oh, dude, so come on, man. So in other words, you made them happy so you could get admitted, and then you let her leave.
No, she was the one that I tried to persuade her to stay, but I mean it was beyond my control.
Okay. Well, I would say that on a scale of complexity and hard, like, what do I think the chances are of you getting a green card based on your current marriage? I'd say about 30%.
20%.
Yeah, they're going to think this marriage was just some kind of scam. You brought her here. She only stayed for a week, and that you maybe weren't even really married or whatever. That's just, it's way too convenient.
So what do you suggest I do?
I suggest you hire me or some other lawyer to help you and your spouse develop evidence that this is a real marriage and not just so that you can stay in the United States. If you submit just a plain old regular I-130 and treat it like you're everybody else, I think you're going to get denied. This whole case is going to be about you and your prior marriage and all that stuff. You got a lot of stuff to prove. Like this is one of those cases where they might say, yeah, we believe you're married to this current person, but we just think everything that happened before that is BS.
Yeah.
So I think even if you hired us and we did our absolute best, you're talking a 35% chance of winning.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how to go for it. Like,
yeah, Juli's going to email you here in just a few minutes, and then we can get started. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks for the call. All right. That was Dito. I'm going to go to Tanya, then Alex925, then Love Hate. Tanya, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
What's up?
Yeah, so my question is, I was recently in a fight with my roommate. So we were both arrested. However, the case was dismissed and sealed. So my husband, mom passed away back in Jamaica. So we wanted to travel as a family to attend the funeral. So I just want to know if it's safe for me to travel, being that the case is dismissed.
What's your immigration status?
I'm a permanent resident. I have a 10-year green card.
And who passed away? I'm very sorry about that.
My husband, mom.
Yeah, so I'm not really answering lots of questions right now about travel, other than to say if you're not a U.S. citizen, you should not leave the United States, and that's especially true if there was an arrest. So I wouldn't, but you can if you want.
Okay. So even though the case is dismissed, it's not safe.
I believe that CBP is looking for reasons to mess with people, and that when you have an arrest, they don't care if it was sealed. They don't care if it didn't go anywhere, that they might just hold you and fuck with you for a couple of days. They just did it to a guy from Vietnam that I talked to. So not to say for sure, but I think that non-citizens should not be traveling if they can avoid it.
So like in case I don't decide, what in case I decide to travel, like and you're coming back up, is it the case like they could detain you and place you in an ICE facility or anything like that?
It's possible. I think it's unlikely, but it's possible. I just had a guy from Vietnam who had received cancellation of removal, got his green card back from ICE. He had more serious crimes than you, but they kept him in the O'Hare jail at the airport in Chicago for 8 days.
No, okay.
All right?
All right.
Good luck. People don't like it when I don't tell them what they want to hear. They just don't like it. They just don't like it. Alex, hello.
Hello, Mr. Jim. How are you?
Great, Alex. How are you doing?
Another day in paradise, my friend. Can't complain, even if I wanted to.
Nice.
So my story is a bit of a conundrum, but I'll try to make it easy. I am, well, at least I hope I am still a long-term permanent resident. I say still hopeful because I came to the States in 1987. I was a kid with my parents. Anyway, long story short, about 5 months ago, I decided to get off my ass, so to speak, and renew my 10-year green card, which was well expired 10 years prior, but I had never traveled anywhere. I, quite frankly, never left the country.
Yeah.
Except for when I was a kid with my parents, and I mean, 3, 4, 5 years old. Went to Canada a few times. This was back in the day. Anyway, self-employed, I lost a lot of work and a lot of customers, and quite frankly, shit at the fan. So one thing compounded on top of the other, and while I had this pending green card renewal application, I just got fed up with myself and financial struggles and decided, hell with it. I'm going to take a trip back home. I'm originally from Afghanistan, and I had never gone back ever. But anyway, because I canceled the renewal application, which probably not smart at all, went online, canceled that, and had sent a handwritten letter to USCIS, through the portal, and uploaded it and saying, you know what, screw it. I don't want to renew my card. I'm just going to go back to my home country. So they canceled the renewal application, and I traveled to Afghanistan in August, the Afghan passport. Well, that didn't work out very well either because the passport rules and everything changed here. And I'm in process of getting a replacement and a new one. My question is, I did get an I-551 with an 8-it stamp, or an I-94, excuse me, and I still have that. Can I travel back? And question one. Question two, can I apply again to renew my green card, even though I technically shot myself in the foot?
Are you physically present in the United States?
I am not.
How long have you been out of the United States?
Let's see, 3 months now?
You should get on a plane and come back right now.
Okay. Question there is, can I travel back with the 8-it stamp? Because they gave me the paper version.
Yeah.
I can?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why haven't you applied for citizenship?
Honestly, man, I never thought to do it.
Why are we messing around with another 10-year green card? Why not get your citizenship? You could have been a citizen a long time ago.
You're not wrong, man. You're not wrong. That's all my own doing, my own fault. I just procrastinated because my reasoning was I never thought I would ever leave the country or travel anywhere, and well, it happened. 30 some odd years later. Yeah.
I would suspect, I hate to say this, I would suspect that the FBI is probably interested in your case.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you did some weird things there. Applied for a new green card with an expired green card, withdrew it with a handwritten letter, probably after midnight, and you've now been out. At least you haven't been out of the United States for more than 6 months. So please come back as fast as you can. And then I would apply for my citizenship right away.
Okay.
I would also do a Freedom of Information Act request. If you got your green card through your parents from like the 80s from Afghanistan or the 90s, you probably want to know everything that's in your file, because if there's one country that's got weird shit when it comes to immigration, it's Afghanistan.
Of course. It just had to be that place, didn't it?
Afghanistan's the one country that I had once where this only happened to me once. I was at an immigration interview for somebody's green card, or maybe it was their citizenship, and the FBI came to the interview, and it turns out that the person who I thought my client was not who he said he was.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I can see that making sense. But I am exactly who I say I am. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, that
I mean,
that
you
crap
you
happens.
have such a long history in the United States, and you had nothing making your case messy that I can hear so far, except for the behavior of the last 3 months. So let's get it back on track. Come back and try to get it all squared away.
Okay. So I am just to confirm that oh, and that's another thing. When I left, when I flew out, I had my ADIT, but they didn't even ask for it.
Yeah, they
Is
don't.
that it? They don't ask for that when you leave, or is it
Oh, and that was
when
my
you?
next question: was whether you had it when you left or they sent it to you. So that's good. No, that's
No,
they don't check
yeah,
it.
I had the. Yeah, what ended up happening when I did just so I'm not missing any critical information. When I went to do the renewal and did the form online, they scheduled me for biometrics. I went and did the biometrics, got that done, and then my dumbass went and canceled it later. But I did the biometrics appointment, and I have the receipt from that as well.
Wait, did you get the
And
added stamp after you withdrew it or before?
no, I got the added stamp before.
That's not so good. So they gave you the added stamp because you had filed the I-90, then you withdrew the I-90.
Correct.
Yeah, they're not going to like that at all, bro.
Yeah.
Are you in Afghanistan right now, or are you somewhere else?
Nope, I am in Afghanistan.
Wow, it sounds like you're next
Yeah.
door. It sounds like you're next door to me.
Well, that's the beauty of Wi-Fi.
I would say get back as fast as you can. I think you might have a hard time getting back. If you do, let me know. But you need to be in the United States real fast.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my primary question about coming back is since I have it and I was contemplating that quite a bit today. I'm like, damn it, will they even let me board or fly back
I think that's.
with the paper ADIT stamp? It's
Did you have?
valid for
Did you have?
valid for a year.
Did you have the green card that never expired, or did you have one that was like that old one where you look to the side? Did you have that one, or did you have one that actually had expired?
No, I had the physical one. It expired. Yeah. And when I went to the appointment they gave me for the ADIT stamp, the officer, the lady I met there at the field office, I gave him the expired one because they asked for it. He said the only way we can give you, according to them, to give me the ADIT paper, the paper version, was to take the old one. I said, okay, well, here you go.
Yeah, well, I guess we're hoping that they don't realize that you had withdrawn the I-90.
Right.
And if they ask you anything, just say, look, I sort of didn't know what I was doing. I've since talked to an immigration lawyer, and as soon as I get back, I'm applying for citizenship.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think that would be the right thing to do. But I'll give it a shot. Hopefully I can. I mean, I don't see why they wouldn't let me board a plane back. I have my Afghan passport and the physical, the damn I-94 with the ADIT stamp. So,
All right. Well,
yeah.
Thanks, Alex.
Appreciate your time, man. Thank you.
Bye, buddy. All right, I'm gonna go to Love Hate, HK, and Flower Frogs. Love Hate, hello.
Hey, good afternoon, Attorney Jim.
Hi.
How are you, sir?
I'm well, thank you. How are you doing?
I am doing well, a little bit nervous, so don't be mad at me in case I messed up.
I won't.
I have two questions with you, which I have written it already. In that way, I can express it clearly. We received an RFE stating that our joint sponsor did not qualify, but USCIS did not specifically explain why.
That's right.
So, yes, sir. I hear that from you multiple times that they don't really explain what's the RFE for if it's 864. Yes, sir. And then, however, my joint sponsor's annual gross income is around 65,000 annually, and then I believe it meets the poverty income requirement, if I am not mistaken. However, on the form 864, she did not sign like wet ink manually the form. Instead, she just did it electronically and then submitted it to the lawyer, and the lawyer accepted it. So could you think that's the first question now? You think that was the reason for her being disqualified because she did not sign manually?
It could be. She made that much all 3 years.
Yes, sir.
Did the lawyer submit evidence that she is currently employed, what her current salary is, and her tax returns for the last 3 years?
From what I know after my conversation with the joint sponsor, they did not submit the tax transcript, but pay stub and employment certificate they did.
So it sounds like they didn't give them. So first of all, just for you and everybody else that's listening, everybody, your lawyer should send you a copy of everything that is sent to USCIS. You should not have to ask.
Thank you, sir, for saying that.
You should not have to ask the co-sponsor how things went with the lawyer. That's not how this works.
Ooh, lawyer, please listen. Thank you.
Let me ask you a question. I was just thinking about this today. I know this is sort of sensitive, but why are people afraid of their lawyer?
Because we might get sued if we ask too much questions.
Okay, so we're gonna do all the reasons why you're scared to talk to your attorney. So that's number one. Okay, that's a good one. Am I going to get sued by my attorney if I complain or ask a question? Okay.
Next is.
Wait, hold on. Let me answer that one. I'm going to answer.
Okay.
So, only a moron would sue their client. Do you know why? Because you have much more power over that attorney than that attorney has over you. What do I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
If the attorney was dumb enough to sue you, let's say he sued you for $5,000 or $10,000,
Mm-hmm.
you would sue him back. So that would be even, and you would file a bar complaint, which means that he would lose his or her law license.
Oh,
right?
right.
So remember a couple things. Number one, whenever you want to convey information or ask questions of your attorney, that should always be in writing. So right now, while we're sitting here, you should send an email to your lawyer or your paralegal and say, hey, I know we got this RFE I know we got an RFE on my co-sponsor. They make plenty of money. Please send me a complete copy of what you sent to USCIS on such and such a date for my I-864. That's a very reasonable request. No reasonable attorney should get mad about that. A reasonable attorney would have sent that to you ahead of time. Like for us, we send it out to USCIS and we just very easily either put a copy in their digital file or just email it to them. It's very simple. There should be no emotion and no fear about that, okay?
Okay.
Totally reasonable request. Why else are you afraid to ask your lawyer questions?
If it's like they might charge us extra because it's outside of the time frame that we're for consultation and stuff like that.
It's so great. I really appreciate these questions. Okay. So you I assume and I hope that you signed an attorney-client agreement with the attorney, right?
Right.
Was it a flat fee agreement or was it some other agreement?
There was a flat fee agreement, but I requested for a discount and the discount was not stipulated in the contract. So I'm a little bit apprehensive that instead of getting a discount, I might get more.
What's the opposite of a discount? A extra. Yes. Yeah. Okay. But wait, so just to be clear, you hired a lawyer and you agreed to pay the lawyer X amount of dollars, right?
I'm talking to the lawyer, baby. Oh, that was my spouse. I'm sorry.
That's okay. So you agreed to hire the lawyer, paint your house, and the lawyer agreed to paint your house, right?
Right.
And you agreed to pay the lawyer X amount of dollars to paint your house, and he agreed to accept that amount to paint your house, to file your case. So we, as Juli mentioned at the top of the show, we did our firm retreat yesterday, and my wife Amani is on the board of the people that. So when people complain about their lawyers, my wife is on the committee of people who hear those things to see if they're legitimate or not, right?
Right.
And she said the number one complaint of all the kinds of ways that people complain about their lawyer, it's communication. It's communication. So an attorney has a duty to communicate to their client. Right? Like there's an actual ethical rule that requires them to communicate regularly with your client. And I would say that giving clients a copy of your work product, the work you did for them, is proper communication. So I don't think
Mhm.
it's unreasonable for you to ask for copies or to ask questions. And they if you're doing it on a flat fee, they have a duty to keep you apprised and to answer. Now, if you're a nutty person who emails them 74 times a day, that's a different thing.
Mm.
But for that,
I
they would.
don't do that.
I'm sure not. I'm sure not.
Yes, sir.
So, I mean, you are the one. You're the customer. They're not the customer. You shouldn't feel like they're got this power over you. I know it's scary because they're a lawyer, and I know it's scary because they have a law degree. This isn't right. You're the customer.
Yeah. I wish I have met you long before, Attorney Jim, but the first time I met you when I messed up with the fake lawyer, if you remember one time, I sent you an email about it. Yeah. And that fake lawyer just disappeared. So after that experience, another friend recommended me to this lawyer, and this lawyer, promised to give me good amount of money to save, and then ending up still paying almost what you charged in from your law firm. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna do a special training. I'm gonna make a special video, and this video is going to be how to ask your lawyer questions, how to ask your lawyer for copies of your case.
Yes, sir.
How to ask for your complete file, and how to fire your attorney if that's what you want to do. Okay?
Yes, sir. Please do that. And one more thing that scares.
I'm not encouraging you to fire your attorney.
Yes,
of course. I don't want you to be scared either. I mean,
yeah.
The email is the key. If you call, they can say, "Well, you didn't call. I have no record of you calling last Tuesday." But if you email them on Tuesday, and it's all about what you want to do is, for everybody listening, you always want to give them another opportunity to do the right thing. So first you say, "Hey, can I get a copy?" So today you're going to send an email when we're done, and it's going to say, "Dear lawyer, please, I saw that we got this RFE. I'm worried about the RFE. Please send me a complete copy of what you sent before, and and then the 4 sentences, please let me know how we're going to respond to this so that my case gets approved. Signed, Love Hate." And then you're going to say, and I would say in there, "P.S. Please let me know by 5 o'clock tomorrow, because as you know, we only have 30 days or 87 days and all that stuff," right?
Right. Okay.
And then if you don't hear from him tomorrow, you give him a break. You don't go crazy at 5 o'clock tomorrow, but then on Thursday, you forward that email to them and you say, "Dear lawyer, I'm really getting anxious about this RFE. I'm worried my case is going to get denied, and then I'm not going to stay here. As you know, I got burned once before with a fake lawyer, so I'm on extra high alert. I really need to get this case approved, and I want to know by the end of the day today how we're going to respond to this RFE and what you need from me in order to win this case." Right?
Yes, sir. Right.
And then if you don't hear anything by Monday, then you really start saying things like, "We have a serious problem. I've emailed you twice last week. I gave you time to respond. I've received no response. For some reason, you haven't sent me a copy of the RFE response. Given the fact that the government says my I-864 was insufficient, and you are refusing to send me a copy of my I-864, that makes me very, very worried. And I think my case might be in trouble. Please let me know what you can immediately so that I can feel at ease and make sure that we're going to win this case." Like, see what I mean? You just keep turning up the temperature a little bit, but you have to do it in writing.
Yes, sir. All right. And my second question, thank you for that, Mr. Jim. Please don't forget to make that video. In that way, I can share it to some of my friends.
Yeah, cool.
Because, and last thing that also scares us, people who are in my shoes, we were once told, like, "I'm gonna file a lawsuit if you will not follow our contract," something like that. So we already have that fear, like, when I do something, she or he might sue me, something like that. Yeah.
I don't know that I would actually represent you if your lawyer was dumb enough to sue you, but I would help you fuck with him, that's for sure.
Oh, thank you so much, Attorney Jim. Oh my God. I was telling my husband, like, I wish I met and I watched your video long time ago when we were starting, but no, we did not. Yeah.
The other
but
thing,
you're helping a lot. You're helping a lot. I have shared your video to some of my friends who were also, messed up by their lawyers. And I said, if you want to learn something like me, just, watch your videos, join you live, and they're doing it now. Thank you so much, Attorney Jim. You
you're
really are helping immigrants like us. Yeah. And my last question, my spouse previously he did not meet the poverty guidelines on the 864, and year 2024 we filed taxes jointly, and our combined annual gross income is approximately like 60,000, so which is above poverty line because it's only two household. So in this case, should I file 864A or just him 864? Because the lawyer said I have to file 864A. Is he correct about that?
so that's one question I don't know the answer to because I don't do affidavits of support anymore. Carolina's on here; she'll know the answer and she'll put it in the comments. I think you do, but I don't know for sure.
All right. Okay. I think you answered all my questions, Attorney Jim, and I have a secret to tell you, just
Okay.
between the two of us. your your listeners and you followers are not listening. I got my requirements for my I-485 from your law firm. I emailed, but I used a different email address, and they gave it to me because I do not know if it's a failure on the part of my lawyer that he did not give me those requirements, but thank you so much because I got it from your law firm. And I got also
what do you mean requirements? I don't know what you mean.
Requirements for like 485. When you file 485, what are those attachments that you need to submit to you have that list, right?
Right.
Yeah, you have that complete list. So one of I think your staff members sent it to me because I requested.
Awesome.
I asked live questions. Where can we get those requirements? Because during that time you were talking about, these are the things that you need to submit when you are applying for 485. So I made that questions, and your staff the next day responded to me with all the list, and that became our like guidance in submitting all the requirements we submitted to our lawyer during that time. And thank you. And after like a week or two, I got my work permit approved. So thank you so much, Attorney Jim.
Awesome. Keep us posted.
I will do that. Yes, sir. Please, your video, do it. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. That was a great call, wasn't it? That was a great call. Love, hate. I'm not saying that I would ever want to be this lawyer, but there's probably a job out there for a lawyer who wants to sue bad immigration lawyers. I told a story at the retreat yesterday. Huli, did you hear that story yesterday? I told a story at the retreat yesterday about a case we're getting involved in. We're going to try to get someone's deportation case set aside. It's literally one of the worst attorney performances I've ever heard of on this show after 945 hours plus of talking to immigrants. It's literally the worst case of malpractice I've ever seen. And I think that there's a role out there for some immigration lawyer to really, I think most immigration lawyers are doing their best, or at least I used to think that. I don't know. It's scary stuff. Carolina heard the tale and said, unbelievable. The lawyer was supposed to be there to defend the client, not make it worse. So if you want to file a motion to reopen, so this guy hired an attorney to file his asylum case. The attorney entered his appearance. The judge gave a 60-day deadline to file the asylum case. The attorney did not file the asylum case on time, filed it 2 months late. The judge ordered the person deported for not filing the asylum case on time. The lawyer waited 5 months to file a motion to reopen, which was 60 days too late. So the lawyer filed the asylum case late, filed the motion to reopen for his own negligence, 60 days too late, and didn't explain to the judge why the asylum case was filed late. This whole thing was apparently run by paralegals. The client never spoke to the attorney. And so today, when you want to file a motion to reopen in the immigration court, you first have to file a bar complaint with the state of X, which is going out today. And then you got to give the attorney a reasonable amount of time to respond. So we're going to give them 2 weeks, and then we'll see what happens. But right now, this person is living under a deportation order with ICE not too far from this house. So this was a real lawyer. They are on the list of barred attorneys in the state in which this attorney practices. So there are fake lawyers. You're right, Haley. And then there's, it's really bad. I mean, literally, when I was telling the story yesterday, our newer lawyers and a couple of paralegals were like this. And it just kept getting worse. When you read, the judge was clearly mad at this attorney. Caroline is all worked up now. She's posting crazy now. She's all fired up. It's a very upsetting case. Very, very upsetting case. And hopefully we'll be able to help this guy. HK, hello. HK.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the time to share our stories.
Sure.
Jim, I have my spousal immigration visa case in administrative processing in Nairobi, Kenya for now 7 months. And I am just wondering, what would you advise as next steps forward? Whether it is, give them a little more time or maybe take some kind of legal action or something like that.
Let's go back to the beginning, shall we?
All right.
When did you file your I-130? When did your spouse file your I-130 with USCIS?
July 2022.
So to be clear, you have been waiting to be united with your spouse for 3 years and 4 months.
Yep.
When did USCIS approve your I-130?
They approved 2023 around October.
So you've been waiting for the State Department to get off their ass and give you your visa for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then when was the interview? You said 7 months ago.
So yeah, it was in April.
If you had to guess, why haven't they given you your visa?
When I was going through my interview, I was told to edit a document, my affidavit of birth, by removal of my fourth name, and then resubmit. Which I asked, does that really qualify for me to put in administrative processing? They said, yeah, according to the new laws under Trump, this is considered, and which I immediately revised, submitted, and I'm still waiting. Of course, I do see when I check my status, it says updated, but nothing is updated because it's still on refusal. But I keep seeing a status updated since I submitted April, May, July, and then October when I sent a follow-up email.
Do you have a birth certificate from at or around the time you were born, or was it issued later?
Oh, it was issued later. I'm from Somalia.
Oh, Somalia. Oh, I see. Okay. So you processed in Kenya, but you're from Somalia. So that means they feel like they can't do a proper background check on you. Okay. And so they asked you to update your birth certificate and take away one of your names or add one of your names? That seems like bullshit to me.
Yeah, they told me to take out one of my names and resubmit the affidavit of birth.
And you did that?
And I did that immediately.
I know this will be a strange question for me to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway, okay? Is there any real question that you are who you say you are?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Yeah, because it's a weird question. Okay, so let's say that the reason they ask you for your birth certificate is not just because they want to mess with you and slow down your case, but let's say it's because they're worried that you're not who you say you are. Does that make sense? Do you have lots of evidence that you are who you say you are, or do you have a little bit of evidence because you sort of fled Somalia?
No, I have a lot, but the only thing was my passport had 3 names while my affidavit of birth had 4 names. You know, because for us, we use so many names, you know, we take after our parents and then grandparents. So
Yep.
technically, they're all my names, but
Got it.
we tend to shorten it somehow.
Where does your U.S. citizen spouse live?
He lives in Seattle.
I would have him file a lawsuit to try to get them to issue you a visa. I think they're just messing with you, and they're sitting on the case because you're from Somalia.
He spoke to some lawyers and they said there was no point in doing that because your case would be sent to the judge, and apparently most of the judges are, you know, not exactly.
In my experience, the vast majority of our lawsuits after an interview, when the lawsuits work, and we've probably filed more than any attorney that your husband spoke with, the only time they really fight back is when you haven't had an interview. Like, you know how slow it is to get an interview in Kenya. We would not file a lawsuit if you were calling me saying, Jim, I've been waiting for 1.5 years and the embassy in Nairobi just won't schedule me for an interview. I wouldn't file that lawsuit. But when you've completed your case and their only alleged hangup is the fact that you only have 3 of your names on your passport instead of 4, that is really, really stupid. So I would sue them and I would get your case moving. I've filed many lawsuits in federal court in the state of Washington. So I would definitely do that. Maybe it doesn't work. Maybe I can't guarantee that it's going to work, but I think it's going to work a whole lot better than just sitting there waiting.
Yeah. And since it's Christmas time almost coming up, is it like a good time to do, or is it better to do it in the new year?
I believe it's always a good time to sue because it's my favorite thing to do. But I would definitely say it's better to sue at the end of the year than the beginning of the year. And here's why. When you file a lawsuit in 2025, then you get a 2025 case number. And then everybody just sort of thinks that it's older than it is. So I would say there's no reason to wait. And plus, if you hired us to sue them and we sued them next week, they get 60 days to reply. So we have to mail them a copy, and then they get 60 days. So I would get that clock started and have that all be pending while the holidays are going over. Does that make sense? They don't get extra time. So I would definitely do it now.
One question for you, sir. When you file such lawsuit, do you get to decide who is the judge, or you just go with whoever the city is judging?
Don't I wish? No, we don't get to pick. And you can't even take a change of judge unless, like, they used to work for the U.S. Attorney's Office. But no, it's randomly assigned.
Oh. In such case, then you would want the most qualified, experienced lawyer, because then he would know how to handle such things,
Yeah, I mean, I think we've probably filed 40 lawsuits in federal court in Washington.
So, sir, do you handle it personally, or?
We have a team. Yep. But
Okay.
it's my name and everything. Yep.
So that's the way to go now. There's nothing like, there's no other middle ground or something like that.
Nope.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
For sure. All right. I saw a couple comments. It was right before Laura came. Oh yeah, that lawyer we were talking about sounds like that lawyer was like that Weekend at Bernie's guy. That's exactly, Glenn, that's exactly what I said to my client. I said, I'm not sure this lawyer's alive, because even when we started poking around, asking for a copy of the file, asking to talk to the attorney, asking him or telling him that I might have to file a bar complaint if he didn't give me the file, or that I might have to file a bar complaint because of the malpractice, the lawyer still has never reached out to me, ever. And I don't know if he's checked out or if he is buried in the backyard. I just don't know. It's crazy. Flower Frogs, hello.
Hello, Jim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So I am from Canada. I am currently in the States. I have a couple questions. So they didn't give me a date to return back to Canada by. They usually do. I can usually just go online and enter my passport information and find it. What are the rules? I think it's like 6 months I can be here. But I've already been in the States for I think like 3 or 4 months combined in the past 12 months.
What's the long-term plan? Why are we playing around with all this stuff? What are you doing?
So I was only planning on being here for a couple weeks and then going back to Canada like next week. But my boyfriend informally asked if I would marry him.
Nice.
So yeah, so super kind of sudden because we weren't planning on getting married until maybe sometime next year or the year after. So we're kind of jumping ahead a little bit, I guess. But I'm just wondering, because I don't want to go out of status while I'm here. I don't want to go out of status while I'm here before we get married. I'd rather get married while we're in status. So I'm trying to figure out when, we should get married and file, since we were planning on getting married anyway.
So big thing here is, when did you actually enter this last time?
Just before Halloween.
Okay. So if you get married within the first 60 days, they're going to think you tried to jump the line by coming into the United States on a visit visa and marrying him, right? So
right.
Number one is we wouldn't want to get married until early January, right?
Okay.
Number two is, how are we going to prove that that was not your intention? How are we going to prove, like, did you drive here or did you fly here?
I drove, and I only had like maybe 5-10 outfits, and I had an itinerary printed off with the things I was going to do before I left on November 17th.
Okay, I like that. And then, so somewhere between Halloween and November 17th, this person proposed to you?
Yes.
Okay. And that was a surprise to you?
For the most part, we had talked about getting married in the next couple of years, but just not so soon. So yes, it was a surprise how soon.
Okay, good. And you have like family members that can attest to that and stuff?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, so I would just chill out. I mean, what are you gonna do with only 10 outfits? Are you gonna go to Target, or what? How are you gonna move your life to America, I guess is my question.
He lives pretty close to the border, so I think he's gonna go across and pick up some stuff from my mom's house.
Good. What about work?
I was gonna ask about that as well.
Go ahead.
So I work online. I work freelance. I'm wondering if, because I wasn't planning on working while I'm in the States, because I don't think I'm allowed to if I'm not on a work visa. If we get married, could I be working in the meantime and it's forgiven once we go to the interview, or how does that work?
Well, I would only suggest always that you follow the law, right? The law does say that if you worked without permission, if you worked without authorization, online work and stuff, it's sort of tricky because the laws are written before the internet, right? So it's a lot grayer than people think. But yeah, so best bet would be not to work. But if you did work and he applied for a green card for you and you got that case approved, you'd have to be really, like, you probably need help with this case, because there's probably 9, 10, 12 questions on the 45 that you need to be careful how you answer.
Right.
About the entry, about the decision to get married, and all this stuff about working. So when the time comes, be careful with how you apply, but certainly approvable, and certainly, you're just going to have to convince them that this wasn't your plan all along. That's the big thing.
Right. Okay. And then back to the question of like how long I'm technically allowed to be here on the tourist visa or whatever it is when you go across the border.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to go out of status before we get married, so I'm trying to do the math on what the date would be to stay in status.
Let's change the discussion up a little bit. I'll come back to that, but let's change up the discussion. How do we prove you have a valid entry?
I'm not sure. I tried to go online and find it, and I couldn't find I just got a new passport. Like I renewed my passport, so maybe that's why. But other than that, I'm not sure.
So you got a new passport while inside the United States?
Sorry.
You got a new passport while in the United States or before you came?
Just before I crossed.
Mm-hmm. But did you just get waved through?
Yeah.
You
And
didn't
usually they bring me into secondary and they give me a specific date, but this time they just let me through.
How long before this visit was it that you were on your last visit?
I had come in end of August for about a week. So maybe like a month or two.
Do you have proof of that entry?
I do. From all of my old passport, I can go online and I can find all of the records. It's just this new one with the most recent entry. I can't find it.
Yeah, so I would start, well, not now, but once you decide to start working on this case, I would start working on how am I going to document and prove that entry. It might be a little tricky, but if you have a valid entry in August, it probably won't really matter.
Okay, so like it should be in their system.
Well, I wouldn't say that. Not if they waved you in. Waved you in. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't know. I mean, you could do a CBP FOIA, but what are they going to do? Run your license plate? I don't know.
Right. Okay. Okay. And if I want to work with your team, how does that process go?
I'm going to have Huli reach out to you because there's a couple other things I want to say that we should maybe talk with you and your spouse. But again, I wouldn't do too much. I wouldn't move this discussion much until after 60 days. But Huli will reach out to you.
Okay, perfect.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for the call.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye. Oh, those Canadians. Yeah, driving across the border on your last trip before you adjust status can be problematic. I have another client who has a very, very, very rich spouse, and they fly into the United States on a private jet all the time. And man, let me just tell you, CBP and TSA is a whole lot different when you're rich, which is nice, except when you have to prove your valid entry. So proof of valid entry, proof of inspection is always a component of any green card case. Always keep that in mind. Jim's rules. Salome says, Jim, question for I-751, is there an ideal time to submit or any day between the 3 months? Yeah, I would just say because they take so long, I would submit on day 85 days before it expires. So I wouldn't file it on the 90 days before. I've seen those cases get proceeded and then denied. So 85 days. All right. I got JV, then Suns fan, then Ashley. Hello, JV.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
So I have a question about how we can make our case like stronger.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to give you the context first.
Oh, for sure. Give it to me.
So I first came here in a B1, B2 visa in 2019. I was 14 years old.
Okay.
We weren't intending to stay or anything, but I ended up starting high school and I met my now husband in 2019 as well because he was friends with my brother. And we started dating in 2020. We had a class together, but then because of COVID lockdown, we kind of went apart. Plus the language barrier, there was like a lot of lack of communication. So after we both graduated from high school, he went to the army, I started college, and just now in 2025, we got back together during summer. But he was married before last year, and he just got divorced, and we got married like October 13th. So
you've been out of status for a long time.
Yes.
When you applied and went to school, you didn't say that you were a U.S. citizen, did you?
No.
You've never made a false claim to citizenship?
No.
That's good. Why did he get married and divorced so quickly?
So he was married in June of 2024, but the relationship only lasted, the marriage itself only lasted like 2 months because she wasn't faithful to him. But then I think they didn't get divorced because he was in the army, like he couldn't go back home, and like she didn't want to fly there to do the divorce stuff. So they just got divorced this past September, officially.
Was he born in the United States?
No, he was born in Mexico.
How did he get his status? Through the military?
No, through parents.
Parents. Okay, great. And then the person that he married before, did that involve him filing any kind of immigration benefit for that person?
No, no at all.
Okay. That's good. Okay. So we can sort of document that even though, well, so the divorce was final in August, is that what you said?
No, it was finalized in September, like at the end of September. But they fill it out in June or July. But I think they like messed up some of the forms and they ended up having to do it again.
Oh, they
So-
filed with a lawyer?
I'm sorry?
They filed for the divorce without a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, and now are you now currently married?
Yes, we are married. We got married in October 13.
So on paper, you got married a month after he got divorced.
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. What country are you from?
I'm from Mexico. And
How did you enter the United States?
so that's a good question because we have the I-94, but since we're from the border, we used to like just cross the border and like go shopping and everything and come back to Mexico. So when we travel, we got the I-94 for July 10, but we didn't travel that day. We went back to Mexico and then we crossed the border through El Paso and took our plane from El Paso to the destination that we were going to.
Did you have a crossing card?
Yes.
Okay, so that's going to be a little tricky. We're going to have to prove up that entry and all that stuff, but that should be okay. We've handled border crossing card cases before. Okay, so what's your question for me?
So how do you think we can make like the case stronger? And since this is like a little tricky with my status right now and with the divorce and our marriage being kind of past.
I don't think you're asking the right question. I don't think the question is how can we make our case stronger? I think the question is, Jim, do you think I can get a green card based on these facts?
Yes.
And I would say that I think this is a very tough case. I think they're going to give you trouble about your entry. I think they're going to give you trouble about your overstay. But most of all, I think they're going to give you trouble about him. And what I think is going to happen is you could file, and then I think they just sit on the case for a really long time to see if he's so flaky that he gets divorced again really quickly like he did last time.
Okay.
Does that make sense? So I think you're going to need a shitload of evidence. You're going to really need to know your timeline. You're going to need to prove, you're going to have a really good reason why he got divorced so quickly. And you're going to have to have a really good reason as to why you got married so quickly, because they're going to think that you got married so quickly in order to save you from getting deported because Trump's here.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I would say tough case. If we were handling it, I would charge you extra because of all the mess. But I think that you've got to focus on your timeline. You've got to have really good explanation as to why he got divorced. And then I think you're going to have to document all that stuff you told me about the divorce, about them screwing it up when they filed it without an attorney, and how that caused the delay and how really they were separated from whenever it was that they were actually separated. Like, you're going to have to prove all that shit up. This case is not going to be they'll just say, let's just say for the sake of argument, we believe that you are in love. That's fine. We accept that. We don't need to have that fight because we have all this other stuff that we can beat you up over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, makes sense. Another question is, I'm a little worried about like filling my applications, and my parents are here too in the same status as I am. So whenever they ask about my parents and where they live, well, I have to say where they live. So I don't know if that could also.
So someone asked me this question last week on the show, and here's what I said. Since I've been an immigration lawyer since 2008, I've had many, many clients marry a U.S. citizen and have some kind of family member around who would be identified on the forms that wasn't in status. Or I've had people applying for citizenship with an undocumented type person staying at their house, right?
Yes.
I've never had USCIS like drop a dime on that family member and refer them over to ICE. I've never had that happen. But if that was ever going to happen, it's going to happen now. So I would say I think the chances are very, very unlikely, but only a fool would say there's no chance. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's why I'm a little worried, because as you said, like we're in Trumplandia now, so.
Yeah, I would say that shit's only going to get worse as we go along. So filing sooner, like I wouldn't not file for that reason. If nothing else, you getting a green card and eventually your citizenship would actually help them too. And you can't get your green card if you don't ever file. So it's a tricky call. But like, if I'm a lawyer, I'd be focusing on you as my client and not so much them. I know you can't do that as their child,
Yeah.
but like you can't help them unless you first help yourself is the way I would think about it.
True. So will you say this is like a case that I need a lawyer? Yes.
For sure. Yeah, because you need to document the timeline. The timeline is either going to help you or hurt you. The timeline's the key to the whole thing.
Yeah, the good thing is my parents like kept all the documents, like our flight tickets when we got here, or I-94 and everything. So I have proof that we were here and we intended to return.
Awesome. Well, yeah, if you want our help, Julio, reach out and we'll go from there, JV. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay,
have a good day. Bye.
That was a good call. I just don't know about that audio. It sounded like she was in an air vent. HB Holmes on TikTok says, how can I call? I recently got my I-45 denied and I'm looking for someone to help me with removal. So if you want to call the office to hire us, it's up top in my bio, 314-961-8200. If you want to come on the show and ask me a question, then you come over to YouTube, you find the Immigration Answers Show 945, or just type in Immigration Answers Show, and then you can talk to Huli. But the best thing to do is either email info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com, info@hacking, that's me, immigrationlaw.com, hackingimmigrationlaw.com. Now listen, I'm going to do a show tomorrow and maybe a show on Thursday morning. And then I'm going on a cruise. Amani and I are going on vacation. How you like me now? We're going to Aruba, Grand Cayman, and Curacao, sort of in reverse order. So Curacao, then Aruba, then Grand Cayman. What do you guys think? Florida to 2 days on the boat, and then Aruba. That'll be fun. This is all because of Lewis. I don't know if you remember our old friend Lewis. 8 days. So I won't do a show for 8 days. I might do a show. Who knows? We'll see. We might do a live show. Maybe we'll get that belly dancer that Glenn's been wanting. It's just getting really cold here, so it's like the perfect time to go. I think Nora's sort of mad at us, but I'm excited. We're going on a little cruise. Mine and I haven't been on a cruise in 27 years, so since before we had kids, and I'm excited. Yeah, I think Aruba should be last too, but you got to go far and then come back. Yeah, I'm looking forward to just relaxing and sleeping and reading. Janet says, I just did that cruise. Was it good, Janet? Adela did that cruise here in the office. Adela did that cruise with her kids last year, and they had a grand time. When you guys go on cruises, you always like go on the, like, you know how like they drop you off and then you have the day there. How do you guys figure out what you want to do for that part of the trip? Like I just haven't done a cruise in so long. And like some people say, let the cruise line set up your thing, but I don't think so. I'll have to ask Lewis about that, because Adele said don't have the cruise line do it. Do it yourself when you get off the get off the boat. I don't know, Julian. I'll let you know when I get back. I'm excited about. Yeah, we got sunblock. We're getting sunblock. Oh my God, Owen's in Grand Cayman. I didn't know this. I will let you know. Owen will probably be like around the 19th, I think, because we get back on the 21st. It's gonna be great. Inshallah, it's gonna be great. We're gonna we just had the retreat for 2 days, and yeah, that's right. Laura says, make friends with someone experienced on the cruise and just do what they do. Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna check with Lewis too. Jim will come back black like me. Sunscreen. Yeah, I'll do some sunscreen. All right. Suns fan has been waiting. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
How you doing, Jim?
How are the Suns doing on this early start of the season? I don't even know.
Actually, I'm on vacation. I'm visiting my wife right now in Europe, but actually they're on a 5-game winning streak ever since I've left the country. So
So
they've
you're
been doing
bad
a
luck.
lot.
You're bad luck. They need you out of here.
Yeah, I know. They were like 1-4, 1-5 on the season, and then I left and they won 5 straight. So I wake up to see them winning because the time changed, you know? So it's like,
That's fun. I have a friend
yeah,
who lives in Atlanta, but for some reason he's a huge Suns fan.
I don't blame them. I mean, shit, they're a good team, you know?
Nice. What's
All
up?
right. So I filed for my wife's I-130 in August of 2024 last year.
Okay.
And honestly, it's no bad news or anything, but I um I received a notification last month that they were working on my case, and through talking to some agents, and I was able to see, like, I don't know how much experience you have with the UCIS portal, but you can see event codes and like how when they worked on your case.
Mhm.
So on October 7th, they worked on my case 3 times with an event different event codes, and I learned that they transferred my case from Nebraska Service Center to Phoenix to my local field office. So, I'm just trying to see, if that's a normal action, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's fine. That's no big deal.
Yeah, so that's like my main question really. Is that really normal? Because I haven't heard anything back since
So
for the
you're
last month.
you're a U.S. citizen.
Yes, yes, born and raised.
I-130 has been pending for how many months?
Almost 14, so August 26th of last year.
So 14,
Almost 14.
15 months is exactly what we're seeing with those overseas I-130. So I think you're going to get approval any day now.
So yeah, that's what I mean, I'm in a Discord group, and honestly, there was a huge wave of August, like my day approvals and like my month approvals.
Yeah.
Like I want to say October 7th, exactly when I got my case transfer. So when I first received it, I thought I was like maybe it was an approval, but it turns out it was just a transfer from Nebraska to Phoenix. And honestly, if I feel like everyone's I've talked to, like, no one knows like why that happened. Because I don't know how much you know about it, but like I feel like I-130s don't seem to be transferred to local field offices as much, or for as per I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
So, I just don't like, obviously, it's just anxious waiting. Obviously I feel like my case is really good. I have a lot of evidence. I've been back. This is my 5th trip back to visiting my wife now. So it's like, I'm not worried about the case at all. I'm just like anxious for an approval and an answer.
Literally, I think it'll be this week or next week.
Shit, I'm praying, man. I mean, I'm here for my wife's in North Macedonia, so I mean, it's just definitely a smaller country. So I'm here for 2 more weeks. So I'm just hoping to hear something till then. But I just like kind of like a just unknown. You don't, what I'm saying, is just like a feeling of unknown, because I found myself too. I don't have a lawyer, so it's just, what I'm saying.
Yep, I think you're good.
And I think it's also like, as for what people saying, if they were like, if it was to get an RFE or something like that, they would have gave it from Nebraska. They wouldn't have transferred it. But this is just a speculation.
And just to be clear, you've never been arrested, right?
No, I have like 1 or 2 traffic tickets from when I was 17. But other than that, no arrest record, no anything.
All right. Well, good luck, brother. Keep us posted, okay?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Have a good
Appreciate it.
night. Yep. See ya. North Macedonia. Wouldn't we all like to go to North Macedonia? That there was actually a nice little cruise that we looked at from like Portugal and Spain. Wouldn't that be fun? Up the Mediterranean. That'd be really fun. That's next time though. We're doing it old geezer style, right out of Fort Lauderdale. It'll be a lot of fun. I'm excited. I'm excited to read my books. John Irving's got a new book out. John Grisham book I started. I just finished Michael Conley's new book. I got Bill Gates's new biography on the Kindle, so I'm excited. Yeah, Julian wants to do that Danube River cruise. My travel agent is always sending me that one to think about doing. Ashley, hello.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing so great, Ashley. Thank you for asking.
Awesome. So I guess I'll start off with, I guess, a little backstory. So my wife lives in Jamaica. Um, I filed for the I-130 literally this September, like September 26th. However, she lives in Westmoreland, which was really like completely destroyed by the hurricane. So I was just wondering if I could file for some type of like emergency I-130 with that situation, like humanitarian or something like that.
So I always tell people no every single time anyone asks me stuff like this. I would file for her. You got nothing to lose. You got nothing. I'm sure she's miserable down there. So yes.
Yeah, she literally lost everything. Her job as well, because she's an entertainer at a resort in Montego Bay, and she's out of work. Even when they do open the resorts back up for tourism, she's not guaranteed her job back because she's under contract. So if they're slow, they're not going to need as many workers. So right now she literally has nowhere to stay. I've been paying extra money for Airbnb for her every week, which is costing me like $500 a week, and it's ridiculous. It's like almost my rent here. So I'm like paying 2 rents. So it's just been really ridiculous over the past couple of weeks. So I just wanted to see if there was something I could do to maybe speed up our process.
I generally would tell you don't waste your time, but obviously it's an extreme situation. I would say that you might not want to lead off with the economic costs. I would put that on the back burner. I would talk more about the hardship of how hard it is to be, what a hard time she's having in Jamaica.
Okay. So as far as that process, like what should I submit as far as like documentation to prove like some of the things that she's going through? Like, do I show pictures of her house being completely destroyed or
all of it? Throw it all in there. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I think that was pretty easy. I just wanted to see if it was just something I should even like try to do. So
yeah, just don't get your hopes up.
Okay, will do. Thank you so much.
Yep. Sorry about that. See ya.
No problem. Have a good day.
Okay, bye. All right. CB is here. Hello.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I have a question regarding the EB2 NIW.
Okay.
I actually work for a national lab, and I'm looking to do a self-petition for EB2 NIW.
Okay.
Right now, my target date to file is by the end of this year.
Okay.
Now, with the government shutdown, I know they have passed a resolution and they're going to go on a vote, but there is some air in my organization that I may get laid off. I'm on H-1B visa. So they have plans to do furlough, but furlough doesn't really apply to us, to people on H-1B.
Yeah.
So I guess, so my question is, should I switch over to my wife's, to an H-4 EAD? My wife has a I-140 approved on H-1B. So would you recommend that I switch over to H-4 EAD, or should I wait till I get terminated, my contract gets terminated with the organization, and then decide to switch over?
Yes, I would wait as long as I can.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because hopefully you won't get laid off. Hopefully that doesn't happen, and switching over to the H-4 might make it seem, I think that might weaken your national interest waiver. They might say, well, if your work was that important, they wouldn't have laid you off. I don't know. It's a tough call.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my question, because the prong 2, it's kind of directly related to where I work,
Right.
and that given the current situation, the current scenarios, like I'm pretty sure they will look at it with a lot of scrutiny if I decide to move to some other company.
Or if you get moved. Yeah. And, I'm very conservative on NIW. It sounds like your wife got one approved, so that's great. So at least you have that in your back pocket. You have lots of options. So I think it's a tough call as to whether or not you go for it or not, but, that's up to you.
Okay. All right.
Thanks for the call.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Gigi the colorist says, I have my 45 denied due to a removal order. I hired a lawyer and he submitted everything 2 years ago and had an interview back in January, got my I-130 approved, but October 27th, my 45 got denied. Well, I'd like to see that, Gigi. Can you send it to me? info@hackingimmigrationlaw.com. All right. Aziz is here. Hello, Aziz.
Hello, how are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Okay, so I have a question about my father. He's currently detained.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So he entered with a tourist visa.
Okay.
And he applied for asylum in he entered in 1990. And he applied for asylum in 91, and then he had the interview in 97. And then he got denied with a voluntary departure. And then he appealed the court's decision and it got dismissed in 99. And then they detained him in 2002. And then I'm pretty sure he got released with habeas corpus. So he was out on bail like this whole time. He was just checking in every year since then.
Yep.
And then he got married in 2009. When he entered, he was with my mother. They came to America together, and then my mom had passed away, but she was already gone in 2008, like out of America. And he got married in 2009, and he applied for the I-130 in 2015, and that got approved. But the adjustment of status case was closed, so he could go back and fix I think he was trying to close that asylum case, so he did a motion to reopen in 2023. And then he waited like 2 years, like till recently, and there was while he was still out, like from the detention center, and there was no response at all. And then he got a response while he was in the detention center that got denied. That was on October 20th. And I just want to see, like, is there any way? I mean, we want to appeal it. I mean, it's kind of getting close to the deadline now because I know you only have 30 days to appeal the motion to reopen.
What got denied on October 20th?
The motion to reopen. That asylum case, to like close that.
Who denied it? The IJ or the Board of Immigration Appeals?
The BIA.
So what's your question for me?
Is there any way that he has a chance to get out? I mean, so I forgot to mention, he's stateless. He has no country. He's from Palestine. And ICE listed him as Jordan.
Uh-huh.
So, I mean, during that voluntary departure way back then, 99, he tried to leave, but no country would accept him. And we're pretty sure that right now, like, no one's going to accept him.
Right. So I think he's going to be sitting in detention it sounds like he's at the end of the line, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it doesn't help. It doesn't help that he has the I-130 approved from his current wife.
Yeah, but it's like day late, dollar short. How are you going to undo the machine? He's this close to being put on a plane somewhere, or they're just going to let him sit in jail until he agrees to go somewhere. They're squeezing him.
Yeah. Like even if we tried to do like habeas corpus again.
Walk me through the theory on habeas corpus. What's wrong? What's being done incorrectly to your father?
I mean, his case is still ongoing. I mean, Well, I mean, now that they denied it, I mean, I don't know what's going on right now.
I mean, he could appeal to the circuit court, but I think that's a loser.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't know what the next step is. I mean, I've been trying to contact people, and I don't know. Not many people work with detention cases.
We work with detention cases, but we also don't work on cases where there's nothing really to do for somebody. This is way late.
Yeah, I know he waited a long time to even do the motion to reopen.
Good luck, SC. Sorry, bud.
Uh,
See ya. PKN is here. Hello. PKN. Hi.
Can you hear me? Hey, can you hear me?
Barely hear you.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
that's better. Go ahead.
Thanks for your service, free service. So we all are benefited from your thing. So I got one question. So can I give me a little background before I?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So I came here in the US uh, August 2022 on F1 visa. So I met my wife February 2023. Then after 1 year of dating, we got married on March 2024.
So you were out of status when you got married?
No, no, I came here on F1. So
Oh,
I
F1.
finished
Okay.
my,
Okay.
I finished my graduations on May 2024. So I was on OPT.
Yep.
Then we got married on uh, uh, March 2024 or 2025. Sorry,
Okay.
2025. Then I applied for my marriage green card on April the same April 2025. Sorry, I got married on 2024, and we applied on 2025.
Why'd you wait?
Oh, so I was talking. I didn't hire that lawyer, but I was talking one lawyer. I mean, she said that, oh, you just got married and you have to wait 1 year to before apply.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So I applied. I waited 1 year, then I applied.
Okay.
So my question is that I got there is a question on I-485 that have you ever committed any crime of any kind? Like
Yes.
I got a traffic ticket. I got a traffic ticket. So
Okay.
will I say yes or what? I mean, I already submitted the form, so I said no. But will it be a problem?
Yeah, just bring a copy of the ticket and proof that you paid it to your interview, and it won't be
Yeah, I paid it. I already paid it. It was like
right.
1 year ago.
But bring proof of that to your interview, and everything should be fine.
Okay.
Or
And
upload it to the portal. Either way.
okay. And one more question. What do you think? What's the percentage of my case like?
Well, have either of you been married before?
No.
Where will your interview be? What field office?
It's in New York.
Is there an age gap?
I'm 3 years older than my wife.
That's not a big deal. Okay. No, it sounds like a good case to me. I'm not worried about it.
I'm also worried. Is there they're gonna detain or something? Is there a trouble or something like that? Because a lot of people I heard in the news that they call call for interview and they detain those people.
Those are people with right now. Those are mostly people with deportation orders. I don't think you have to worry about that very much.
Okay, because I don't have any criminal no immigration record or any criminal record.
I think you're good, brother. Good luck. Keep us posted, okay?
Thank you.
All right, all right. Where do you live? I live in St. Louis, and we have offices in St. Louis, Chicago, DC, and San Diego. What is our number? It's 314-961-8200. 314-961-8200. I was scheduled for a green card interview due to an error. The USCIS clarified it. Will N400 be approved? I don't know. It sounds like something weird is going on. All right, everybody. That'll do it for today's show. Like I said, we'll be back tomorrow. Juli, what time tomorrow are we doing the show? Let's see. 1 o'clock tomorrow. 1 o'clock tomorrow. We'll be back. Juli, thanks for your help. Suns fan, dude, I'm not going to answer you. All your questions are about anxiety stuff. I answered. You're fine. Just sit tight. I told you your case is going to be approved in the next 2 to 3 weeks. Just sit tight. I don't give a shit what it says on the portal. I don't give a shit if it says your case got sent from Nebraska to Phoenix. None of that shit matters. The only thing that matters is when it gets approved. And I'm telling you, 14 to 16 months. You're right in the middle of it. You're going to be fine. Chill the fuck out. Just chill out, dude. Way too anxious. You're very, very close. You're in a good spot. Just chill. As I said in Say Anything, you must chill. You must chill. All right, everybody. Thanks, Juli. Thanks, everybody else. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 p.m. for episode 946. We'll be live on TikTok. Apparently, we can go on TikTok on StreamYard starting tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see about that, Juli. I'm not believing it. All right, good, Suns fan. I'm glad you're going to chill. Have a good night, everybody. Peace out.
I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are stateless.